But one thing he taught me right away and began to initiate with me is to connect with the power of nature. And I'm sure, if you ask somebody, what is one of the best experiences of your life? How many people would say sometime in nature? Anybody? You see how many people. It's everywhere, whether it be in the Huichol village in New York City, here in Boulder, connecting with the spirit of nature. This is what is so important, and this is one of the keys in our book, Fit Soul, Fit Body. Connecting with the spirit or the power of nature. And what does that mean? Well, that means connecting with the sunrise, which is here, in the east, behind this sacred screen, and in the back there is the sunrise. Out here, the sunset, right? These are places of power in nature that surround us every day of our lives. And so this is what Don Jose began to teach me. Connect with the power of nature. And I'll talk about this as we go along. How do you connect? He used to say, you connect well. And that was his esoteric answer, very normal. And he said, you connect with your hearts, as you heard Ted say in the beginning when he introduced us. You connect with your hearts as well as with your mind. And actually, the Huichol say there's a sacred connection between our hearts and our brain. It's like one, they say. And now, this is being proven true, isn't it, by scientists where they're finding chemicals in the heart which have to do with thinking processes and memory and so forth, which they thought previously to be found only in the brain. So this fits the model of shamanism or of ancient indigenous cultures. And so this is important, to connect with our hearts, to live with our heart. The Huichols taught me, and I was a modern person, I wasn't born a Huichol, but during my time with them, they taught me to connect with your heart, to think with your heart, to hear with your heart, to feel your heart, to connect with people on a heart-to-heart connection. And this is true whether it be with your families, your children, your parents, your friends, your co-workers. When you have a heart connection, it makes it easier to be with the people. And so this is what I was taught during my time there. Also, community was a big part. And many of us work in a corporation or a big company, and that becomes like a community. The Huichol village I was at, it was small. It had 100 people. And it grew to maybe 200 people, but that's relatively small. But that is a community. And if you're in a company that might have 1,000 people, that's your community as well. And that is part of the health and healing of the Huichol tradition, is to connect with your community. This is our community for these few days here at LOHAS. We should connect with each other, make a connection with each other, talk to each other. You can be shy when you go home after the conference. So this is a part of this tradition of health and healing that I've been talking about. Also, it talks us into, or delves into the art of connecting with Mother Earth. It's not just a metaphor, we say Mother Earth. We say Mother Earth has the power of love. You heard of that word before, love? Anybody? So it's not just found in a book or in a movie, but it's a real power, love. And so that's the power of Mother Earth. We say Tata Yorianaka, but Mother Earth. And each one of us can make that connection with the earth. They used to say, Don Jose told me, every time you take a step on the earth, try to imagine or visualize the love of Mother Earth coming into your body. And this is something real, almost tangible, the love of Mother Earth. Okay? So, why don't you, just for a moment, just think about which one of these things is most important for you, and you can maybe ask a neighbor that's sitting near you, think about which is important for you at this time in your life. Connecting with your heart or your soul, or connecting with your community, or connecting with Mother Earth. So just take a moment for that, and then I'll go on. Don't be shy. What is this? There. And?
I just told, I said it's too dark, the video. They got to bring it up. He said they'll turn the stage lights down the next time we have it.
Good. How's good? How's perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. You sure? All righty, thank you. Great. So there'll be more time. We're going to have this more interactive, and I hope that's okay with everyone. You seem to like it. So it's something that we do sometimes in a longer workshop that Mark and I teach. Sometimes we teach for a week in places like Crete or over in Greece, but we're trying to fit as much as we can in the short time that we have today. So I just would like to talk about what the Huichols call the 4 powers, and I'll go through them quickly, and then I'll turn the program over to Mark, and we'll go back and forth. And I think that's the best format for today. That's the way we usually do it. So the 4 powers. We hear that word power. What is power? Is power only the CEO? That's a powerful man or woman? Or is power the best football player? Or what is power? So the Huichols break it down into 4 parts. The first power is what I alluded to before, and that is love, the power of love. We say that's probably one of the strongest powers of all. That's the power of Mother Earth, love. So you can always think about that. We all are, everyone here born on the earth? Anyone not? So that unites us as people. We're all from the earth, of the earth. So that makes us all, the native people say, relatives. We're all earth people. And I know that might sound simple, but don't be fooled by the simplicity of that. So love is the strongest, and that's how they judge a person's power. Are they loving and kind? And that's important. The second power is physical power. And the Huichols say we should develop our bodies as much as possible. We're all not going to win the Ironman like Mark, or be able to run a marathon or lift up large amounts of weight, but we should use our bodies as much as possible to develop our physical power. And part of that is to develop your body's connection with the body of Mother Earth. That we say our body is an extension of the body of Mother Earth. You can think about that afterwards. The third power is what many people think of when they think of power, the power of intuition. The power of intuition. Finding your higher self. Connecting your soul with all of creation, or your heart with all of creation. And that's the third power, intuition. And we say that is also in the heart. And there's all games you can play to develop that. When the phone rings, before you look at the phone, think, who's calling? Or you're driving down the road, what color will the next car be? And it's just little games you can play to help develop your intuition. And you can use that intuition anywhere, can't you? In business, pleasure, wherever, to be an intuitive person, aware, awake, or an alert person. That's part of intuition. And then the last power is intelligence. You might say, well, what does that mean, intelligence? Well, in this context, and I'm relating it to you, intelligence in the Huichol tradition of health and healing means to live your life in the right way. If you're a boss, CEO, manager, whatever, be kind and nice to your co-workers. That, as you know, has been proven to be effective, probably the most effective. Of course, you might have to get mad sometimes or whatever. But if you're a parent, to be a kind parent. If whatever position you are in, a doctor or a professor or a teacher, to really not to take advantage of your power. And that's living your life in the right way. So those are 4 powers that I would like you to think about. It's in the book, but if you don't have our book, you can think about it for the rest of your life. Love, develop that power. Physical power, be aware that your body's connected to the body of Mother Earth. The third power is the power of intuition. Be aware and awake and alert. And then the fourth power is intelligence, living your life in the right way. It's very simple, but to practice it and to live it, that's our challenge. All righty? So I hope you'll think about that, and then I'd like to turn the program back over to Mark Allen, who you heard Ted introduce as the legendary Ironman. He won the Hawaii Ironman 6 times, and he's considered the greatest triathlete of all time, and he has a great story to tell. So I'd like to turn the program over then to Mark Allen.
Thank you, Brant.
Thank you.